What's going on, guys? It's Seth Ward here, and tonight I am back with another college football prediction video, and this time it'll be between the Tennessee Volunteers versus the Syracuse Orange, a matchup that I haven't really seen a whole lot lately. It's kind of an interesting matchup to see this year at August 30th, 2025, so another early Week 1 or Week 0 matchup, so it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Syracuse, maybe on the rise, who knows? Tennessee, a whirlwind or a roller coaster of an offseason with quarterbacks change and just the whole landscape of the whole NIL saga with players demanding more money, and of course from Josh Pate or late kick on Josh Pate exposing all the NIL craziness that's going on with players potentially opting out of the college football playoffs because they demanded more money from sources that were in the programs of the playoffs last year. Whole craziness going on. And of course, as you guys know, quarterback Nico Iamaleava left Tennessee to play for UCLA because he wanted more money. And of course, Tennessee did not want that. So as further now, Joey Aguilar, who is the former App State quarterback, is now at Tennessee. So it's kind of like a trade because he was with UCLA. Now he decommitted. Then he went to Tennessee. So it's going to be a crazy year of football once again. But as of further ado, let's go ahead and go through this slideshow that I like to make. I try to gather from our lads, from On3, from ESPN, all the stats, and the player transfers, portals, and all the et cetera type of stuff. So let's go ahead and go through the matchup we've been waiting for of this upcoming season. So last season, a record, Tennessee lost in the first round of the college football playoffs against Ohio State. That game was not a good one, especially for Tennessee. But they did go 10-3, 6-2 in the conference. Really solid year this year. They definitely shot up last year with Josh Heupel as their head coach. And of course, we got Syracuse. They shot up out of nowhere this year, going 10-3, 5-3 in the conference in the ACC, and they won in the Holiday Bowl. 52-35 against Washington State. That game was crazy. It was a high-scoring game. Kyle McCord had a great game that game, so he's gone into the NFL. So we'll see how Syracuse plays this year with the new quarterback. And of course, last time these two teams played was September 1st of 2001. Tennessee won with a whopping 33-9, and this is like a tiny series, so these teams haven't really played much in the past, and Tennessee is 3-0 in the series. I looked that up on Wikipedia. I know it's not really accurate, but that's the last time I'm seeing these two teams played. So there you have that with the last time both teams played. Next slide, we got the coaches comparison. Fran Brown came out of nowhere. I don't know where he came from. I think it was like a defensive coordinator. I think so, but hey, first season as a head coach, I like this dude because guess what? He was also like Josh Heupel. He was like, nah, I ain't paying players like the wide receiver who was there for like 5 years who dipped after he demanded more money. And he was like, nah, man, I ain't paying you. You had one great season after like 2-3 years of being mediocre, and he dipped. So, hey, hats off to him for standing on his ground. I like this guy. 10-3, 5-3 in the ACC first season as head coach. Syracuse, I mean, they're okay, but like as a UNC fan, I don't really see them as a football school. I see them more of a basketball school. But hey, hats off to Syracuse. They've done a great job last year. And of course, Josh Heupel has done a great job with Tennessee so far, going 37-15, 20-12 in the SEC. So I think Tennessee is in good hands with Josh Heupel as a head coach. And there you guys have it for the coaches comparison. And now we have the location for this game, which is a neutral site, which kind of sucks because I wish they would just disband the neutral site games and let teams play wherever like their location is, like either home or away. But it is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so that's gonna be interesting. Like it's kind of like a Super Bowl almost, or like a championship game, in my opinion. So there you have it, guys, with the location of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then we got the portal tracker. We got players transferring out, which is the big one, which is Nico Iamaleava. He's going to UCLA. Then we got Dayton Sneed going to UNC to play for Bill Belichick. Then we got wide receiver Nate Spillman, transfers to Charlotte. We got safety Christian Charles, unannounced, now for Syracuse. All right, so for Syracuse, we have Murad Watson. Well, he transfers to Texas. I had to change up some things in the video, or not the video, but the slideshow with the player stats. So I totally forgot they transferred to Texas. Then we got linebacker Jaden Brown, unannounced. Then we got offensive tackle Enrique Cruz, unannounced. And of course, offensive lineman, we got David Wallabaugh, unannounced as well. So there you have it for Syracuse for the players transferring out. And now we got players transferring in to the teams. We got Tennessee. We got quarterback Joey Aguilar, who was also an awesome quarterback for App State. I think that the previous head coach, I'm not actually an App State fan. I'm also like UNC as well. I didn't go to school, but I like both teams because just family members went there. So that's why I cheer for both of them. So mainly because I liked App State before as well. So Joey Aguilar had a great 2 seasons with App State, though they didn't really do so well last year. So I think he's going to be a solid veteran quarterback for Josh Heupel. Then we got offensive lineman Sam Pennington. That's going to be a huge one from Notre Dame. I think he wanted more money as well, so he left after had a great season with Notre Dame when they lost in the championship against Ohio State, which that is kind of crazy as well. Then we got offensive lineman Wendell Moore, transfers from Arizona. Then we have wide receiver Amari Jefferson, transfers from Alabama. So that's also a pretty big one for Tennessee. Then we have Syracuse. We got Steve Angeli, which this kid I think is going to be really solid if he beats out the current starter who Fran Brown named in the in the spring practice, the spring game. So we got quarterback Ricky Collins from LSU. So that's also going to be very interesting to see the 3 quarterbacks on who is going to be the main quarterback. Because I guarantee you there's going to be some issues with the quarterback system since Kyle McCord was gone or just left for the NFL. Then we got defensive lineman Christopher Thomas from Marshall. Then we got defensive edge David Reese from Cal. So there you guys have it for the portal tracker for transferring out, and of course for players transferring in. All right, so the top 3 offensive players for Tennessee, we got, of course, so far, as for now, we got quarterback Joey Aguilar. It was crazy just to even think about it because Nico, I was really shocked Nico Iamaleava is left, which is just still crazy to me with all that money and NIL stuff. He took less money at UCLA. But anyways, enough of that. We got 288 completions with 390 attempts with a 55.9%. We didn't really, App State didn't really have a great offensive scheme last year, but Joey Aguilar pretty much carried that team on offense with 3,003 passing yards, averaged about 7.7 per throw. And he had 23 passing touchdowns or overall touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Running back Peyton Lewis, Dylan Sampson is gone to the NFL, so that's a big loss for them. But Tennessee, I think that we'll have a good running back. Peyton Lewis with 64 carries, 339 rushing yards, averaged about 5.3 per carry. He had 3 touchdowns for Tennessee. So we got wide receiver Chris Brazel II with 29 receptions, 333 receiving yards, 11.5 average per catch, and he had 2 touchdowns. So a lot of new faces are for the Tennessee Volunteers this year, so it'll be very interesting to see. Then we have a lot of new faces for Syracuse. We got Ricky Collins, as for now, as the starter. He went 5 for 5 with 100% completion percentage, 35 passing yards, average about 7 per throw, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. So he's going to be the guy for the LSU transfer. I know Stephen Jelly may come in and potentially take over if things don't work out. Then we got running back Yasin Willis with 36 carries, 130 rushing yards, 3.6 yards average per carry, and 1 touchdown. And of course, we got wide receiver Darrell Gill Jr. So this is going to be the main guy for the wide receiver core with 31 receptions, 570 receiving yards, averaged about 18.4 per catch, and he had 2 touchdowns as well. All right, so the top 3 players defensively, like I said before, with offensively, We got quarterback, wide receiver, or quarterback, running back, wide receiver. So I like to do, in my opinion, is defensive lineman, linebacker, or defensive back, which is like the different categories with edge rushers, or also with defensive backs with safeties, free safeties, etc. You get the point. So we got Joshua Josephs. We got 39 total tackles, 17 solo, 1.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 3 pass deflections, which is solid year for him. And of course, we got Arian Carter. So he's going to replace James Pierce Jr. So linebacker is Arian Carter. He had 68 total tackles, 29 solo, 1 interception, and 6 pass deflections. So that's going to be very, very key players for Tennessee for next year. Or this upcoming season. So we got defensive back. We got Boo Carter, 38 total tackles, 28 solo, and 1 sack. So Tennessee, I think, will have a solid defense this year. So let's see how that goes for just this year. All right, so we got the top 3 defensive players for Syracuse. They had some solid guys as well. Dennis Jaquez Jr. with 22 total tackles, 13 solo, and 2.5 sacks. Then we got linebacker Derek McDonald. Sorry about that. We got 51 total tackles, 26 solo, and 1 forced fumble. Then we got defensive back. We got Deuce Chestnut, who has solid year. So that's going to be a key player for Fran Brown. And, of course, for Syracuse with 61 total tackles, 40 solo, and 1 sack. Also, 1 interception and 5 pass deflections. So that's solid for him. Not bad for Syracuse. They had a solid year on defense as well. So, as a further ado, let's go ahead and go through the team stats. We got Tennessee, last year's team stat. They were ranked 77th overall in the nation for college football with 221.2 passing yards. They were ranked 9th in the country. They like to run the ball a lot, especially in the SEC, with 225.8. Then we got, which is ranked 9th in the nation. And of course, on offense, they had 35.7, which was tied for 17th. And of course, their defense was really, really good last year with only allowing 16.1 points per game, which was ranked 7th in the nation for this upcoming season, or for this past season. Total yards in offense, they had 447 yards per game, really, really solid. Defense, they had a solid defense last year, only allowing 293 yards per game. Solid on the passing game as well, coverage-wise, which is 189.3. Then we have 103.7 rushing yards allowed as well. And, of course, for Syracuse, their offense was lethal. Their offense was insane last year. That's why they went 10-3 with Kyle McCord, and that offense was really, really solid. With that, also that wide receiver that transferred out. So they were ranked first in the nation with 370 passing yards, and they were 126 in the nation for rushing, which is not great, which is 97.6. So they were like a full power spread offense type of play. Points for 34.1, which they ranked 26 in the nation. And their defense, that's where their defense was a little sketchy with allowing 29.2 points per game, which they ranked 96. Total on offense, 467.6. Really, really good. Defense, not so great. Allowed 327.2 yards per game. And, of course, they allowed 214.4 points per, or not points, but passing yards allowed per game. My bad, guys. 112.8 rushing yards allowed per game as well. So there you guys have it with Tennessee and, of course, Syracuse's team stats overall. And then lastly, this one is going to be very interesting with the final prediction. I don't really know how well these two teams will translate. It's just a way too early prediction video. But as for now, I think the safe bet, in my opinion, is Tennessee. I think their defense is going to be really solid this year. I don't know how well Syracuse's offense is going to be because they lost a lot of guys on offense last year. But I think that Tennessee is going to win minus 10 points. I think it's going to be maybe like a high-scoring game. So I think like if the score is going to be like 34-24. And so I think that's going to be maybe possibly a high-scoring game. And I think it's going to be a good game, in my opinion. A lot of emotions, a lot of, I guess you can say, intensity with the whole NIL saga with Tennessee. So maybe that's going to like be motivation for this game against Syracuse. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, this is Set Forward here. Y'all or hope you all enjoyed the video. More videos on the way. I'll probably post one on Monday. I'm going to try to do a schedule with Friday or Mondays as well. So hope you all enjoyed this video. And so yeah, guys, step forward here. Y'all great rest of the night. And happy Friday. And enjoy the weekend as well. College football is almost here. All right, guys. Peace.